Before the first missile was ever launched, before radar screens locked onto hostile targets, before the enemy even realized the war had begun, the outcome was already decided. Because when a shadow crosses the sky at more than twice the speed of sound, when the roar of twin jet engines shakes the clouds above, this is no longer just an aircraft. This is power. This is dominance. This is the absolute certainty that the skies belong to the United States of America. This is the story of the F-15 Eagle, a fighter that does not know defeat, a living symbol of American air supremacy. Over 100 confirmed air-to-air victories, 0 losses, no exceptions, no myths, only real war and real victory. Throughout human history, whoever controls the skies controls the battlefield below. Armies can be massive, tanks can be countless, but without air superiority, everything becomes vulnerable. The United States learned this lesson the hard way in the 20th century. The sky is not empty space, it is the key to victory, and losing that key was never an acceptable option. During the Cold War, the world stood on the edge of collapse. On one side, the American flag. On the other, the shadow of the Soviet Union. It was more than politics. It was a technological, military, and ideological arms race. And in the skies, that race became deadly. MiGs were faster, higher, more aggressive than anything the U.S. had faced before. For the first time since World War II, America faced a terrifying possibility, losing control of the air. Vietnam left deep scars. Highly trained American pilots were being challenged and sometimes defeated by smaller, simpler, but extremely agile aircraft. Speed alone was not enough. Technology alone was not enough. Something had to change. The United States needed a predator, a fighter that entered every battle with an advantage already secured. That decision reshaped aviation history. The F-15 Eagle was built with a brutal philosophy: see first, shoot first, kill first. Its massive twin engines were not designed just for speed, but for total energy dominance. It climbs faster, accelerates harder, and keeps control when others are already struggling. Its radar sees farther, its missiles strike sooner, and if all else fails, its maneuverability ensures that in a close-range dogfight, the Eagle remains lethal. When the F-15 first flew in 1972, it was immediately clear America had created something different, something that did not follow trends, something that set the standard. Test pilots knew they were sitting inside more than a jet. They were inside a statement of power. But machines are not proven in test flights. They are proven in war. Israel was among the first to take the Eagle into real combat. Surrounded by enemies and living under constant threat, there was no room for propaganda. Only results mattered. When Israeli F-15s met Syrian fighters in the skies of the Middle East, the outcome was devastating. MiG after MiG fell. Fast engagements, decisive kills, total control. The enemy rarely had time to react. The Eagle saw first, struck first, and won first. Then came 1991. The Gulf War became the ultimate stage for modern air dominance. Before ground forces advanced, before tanks crossed borders, the skies had to be cleared. That mission fell squarely on the shoulders of the F-15 Eagle. On the very first night, while the world watched live, F-15s were already hunting. MiG-29s, MiG-25s, Mirage F-1s. It didn't matter. If it flew, it was detected. If it fought, it was destroyed. American pilots described a feeling of total control, not reacting to the battle, but commanding it. Missiles were fired beyond visual range. Enemy aircraft vanished from radar screens before their pilots understood what was happening. And in close combat, the Eagle proved it was not just powerful, it was precise, confident, ruthless.
When the war ended, the score was undeniable. Not a single F-15 had been lost in air-to-air combat, not one. In return, dozens of enemy aircraft lay destroyed. The message was clear to the world. American air superiority was not theory, it was reality. Stories followed that seemed impossible, an F-15 landing safely after losing nearly an entire wing, another shooting down a satellite in orbit, the only fighter jet in history to do so. These are not legends, they are documented facts. Decades later, the Eagle still flies, still evolves, still commands respect. The F-15EX carries 21st century technology, but remains true to the same mission defined in the 1970s: dominate the skies and protect the nation. The F-15 Eagle is not just a warplane, it is a symbol of what happens when a nation refuses to accept second place, a promise written in steel, fuel, and fire, that as long as an Eagle flies, America will never fight from the ground looking up. The sky has an owner, and it speaks English. And so the story of the F-15 Eagle does not end in silence or retirement. It lives on in the roar of engines, in the crack of missiles leaving their rails, and in the absolute confidence of every pilot who climbs into the cockpit knowing they are not alone. Because as long as an Eagle flies, there is dominance, there is deterrence, there is certainty. The F-15 did not become undefeated by chance. It earned that title in real wars, against real enemies, in battles that shaped the modern world. 100 air-to-air victories, 0 defeats, a record untouched by time. Some aircraft grow old, others become eternal. Thank you for watching WarNomicon. Here, we don't tell empty myths. We uncover the true records of war, the machines, the battles, and the moments that defined history. Subscribe, like, and share this documentary with those who respect real military history, because as long as war exists in human history, there will be stories that must never be forgotten.